नमस्कार विद्यार्थ्यांनो. In the previous lecture, we have already studied about the digestive system of the human being. That means the alimentary canal and the associated digestive glands. Today, we are turns toward the study of the next part of this chapter, and this part is the physiology of digestion. The food eaten is insoluble and it is can't become a part of our body. The food undergoes many physical and chemical changes so that it is converted into the simple absorbable form. So this physical or maybe the chemical changes in the food are studied under the physiology of the digestion. So the mechanical changes includes the breaking up of the food into smaller fine particles due to mastication or chewing of food by teeth. Churning and peristaltic movements of gastrointestinal tract brings about mechanical digestion in human body. Actually, the chemical digestion is a series of catabolic, that means breaking down of the food material. So the catabolic reactions that hydrolyze food, chemical changes are brought about by the action of different enzymes. So what is meant by enzymes? So enzymes are the biological catalysts which are to increase the rate of reaction but not take part in the reaction. So this, that means the actually process which is takes place on the food, we have turned toward the next point of this chapter, and this point is the digestion in the buccal cavity. Actually, the digestion of the food begins in the mouth cavity or the buccal cavity. No, in the mouth cavity, food undergoes such type of the some changes, and these changes may be the larger molecule of the food are broken down by teeth and mixed with the saliva. So the saliva is the digestive juice, no doubt, which is secreted by the salivary gland in the mouth. Actually, saliva is slightly alkaline fluid containing mucus and amylolytic enzyme. Okay, and this enzyme name is the ptyalin. Actually, the mucus help to lubricate the food and makes it soft. See, the mucus cell of the salivary gland have to secrete the mucus. Then the ptyalin acts on the complex polysaccharide like starch. Okay, and this starch, that means the present in the food content, convert them under the influence of the enzyme ptyalin into the maltose like the disaccharide. So this is the conversion of the complex, that means the polysaccharides, complex sugar, into the disaccharide as a maltose, and this, that means the reaction, digestive reaction, takes place in the mouth. The semi-digested food, that means the balls, are called as the bolus. That means after the mouth digestion, the balls of foods are produced, and these balls are nothing but the bolus, which is pushed into the esophagus. So the esophagus is the next part of the digestive system by the action of tongue. So this is the digestion of the food in the mouth. Then the next part of the digestion, which is takes place in the stomach. So the partially digested food balls are propelled from mouth into the esophagus and from esophagus into the stomach by the peristaltic movement of the esophagus. So in stomach, the food undergoes following changes. Actually, both mechanical as well as chemical digestion which takes place in the stomach. Actually, the food store in the stomach by means of the 4 to 5 hours, no doubt. The physical digestion occur by churning of the food. Churning, घुसळणे. Thick muscular wall of the stomach help in churning process. Churning further breaks down the food particles and also helps in mixing of gastric juice. Actual gastric juice which is secreted by the mucosal layer of the stomach having the gastric glands. Actually, these gastric glands which are present are of three types: These are mucus cells. Glands itself have been consist of the three types of the cells. These cells may be the mucus cells, peptic cells or chip cells, and the oxyntic cells or partial cells. So these, that means the three cells which are present in the gastric gland. So the mucus, that means the secrete by the mucus cell. Peptic cells have to secrete proenzyme like the pepsinogen. Partial or the oxyntic cells secrete the HCl. So in infants, stomach also secrete renin, and mucus acts on the inner lining of the stomach. That's why the internal lining of the stomach becomes protected from the HCl by the mucus, no doubt. Then the HCl in gastric juice makes the food acidic and stop the action of salivary amylase. Actually, the food coming from the mouth, the saliva is mixed, saliva is alkaline, but the another process of the digestion takes place in the stomach. The food should changed in acidic form. That's why the HCl have to change, have to stop the action of the salivary amylase as alkaline action. Then also HCl have been useful for the kills the germs that might be present in the food. Germs. Then the pepsinogen gets converted into active enzyme pepsin in the acidic medium provided by the HCl. In presence of pepsin, we already along with the food eat the proteins, and these proteins are converted with the help of the pepsin into its simpler form like peptones and the proteases. So the protein convert with the help of the pepsin into the peptone and the proteases. Then one more reaction in the infants also takes place. The renin found in gastric juice of the infant, no doubt, it acts on the casein. So the casein is the one of the protein present in the milk, and this casein is converted into insoluble form, that is the curd. Then the conjugated milk protein is further digested with the help of the pepsin. Renin is absent in adult. At the end of gastric digestion, food is converted into semi-fluid acidic mass of partially digested food is called as chyme. That means in the stomach, the food which is semi-digested, and this semi-digested part of the food is called as the chyme. So the chyme from the stomach is pushed into the small intestine, and then we are turned toward the next part of the digestion or physiological digestion, and this is the digestion in small intestine. Actually, there are two types of muscular movements in the small intestine. These are peristaltic and the again churning. These movements helps in food to move along the length of the intestine and mixed with the intestinal content. So in intestine, okay, intestinal juice, bile juice and pancreatic juice are mixed with food. So peristaltic movement of muscularis layer help in proper mixing of digestive juices with chyme. Bile juice and the pancreatic juice are poured in duodenum through hepatopancreatic duct. That means bile juice, which is secreted by the liver as a digestive gland. Then the pancreatic juice, which is secreted by the pancreas. The both juices which are carried by the hepatopancreatic duct and pour into the duodenum. So the bile juice is dark green colored, that contain bile pigments. Actually in the bile juice the bile pigments are present, and the bile pigments may be bilirubin and biliverdin. Then the bile salts, cholesterol and the phospholipids are also present in the bile juice. Then the bile, actually bile does not contain any digestive enzyme, no doubt. bile salt neutralize the acidity of the chyme. Only this bile becomes neutralize the acidity. That means the food which is coming from the stomach becomes acidic. But whenever it enter into the intestine, then this food is again changed into the alkaline form with the help of the bile. Then the pancreatic juice secreted by the pancreas contain pancreatic amylase, lipases, and inactive enzyme trypsinogen and the particular chymotrypsinogen. So pancreatic juice. So this pancreatic juice, which is that means the present in the duodenum, which have been also contain the nucleases enzyme that digest nucleic acids. Then also the intestinal mucosa secrete digestive enzymes. The goblet cells of mucosa produce mucus. Mucus plus intestinal enzymes together constitute intestinal juice. And this intestinal juice is nothing but the succus entericus. So the intestinal juice contain various enzymes like dipeptidase, lipases, disaccharides, and both this pancreatic and the intestinal lipases, which are that means the initially converts fats into fatty acids and the diglycerides. So the diglycerides are further converted to monoglycerides and removal of fatty acids and glycerol. So this is the such type of the different reactions which are takes place on the food in the small intestine. Actually, this small intestine, some reactions or maybe that means the intestinal juice consists of small intestine how to perform such type of the reactions. Also pancreatic juice which is secreted in the poured into the small intestine also continues such type of some reactions, and collectively the physiology of digestion which is takes place in the small intestine. So in that physiology of digestion, we have studied about the how the food which is then coming outside into the mouth and in the mouth or in the stomach or in the intestine, how such type of the complex food is converted into the its a simpler form, and this process is nothing but the physiology of digestion. Then one more, that means the point in this particular topic is the hormones of the gastrointestinal tract. So there are four hormones which are that means the present in the gastrointestinal tract, and these are the gastrin. First hormone is the gastrin. So the gastrin which stimulate the gastric gland, which is already present in the mucosal layer of the stomach for the secretion of HCl and the pepsinogen. This is the use of the gastrin. Then one more hormone which is that means the present in the GIT, gastrointestinal tract, and this is the secretin. So it acts on exocrine pancreas and stimulates secretion of water and bicarbonate ions to form pancreatic juice. So this is again hormone very important because they have to useful for the formation of pancreatic juice. The next one is the cholecystokinin. So third hormone. So CCK acts on pancreas and the gallbladder. It stimulates secretion of pancreatic enzymes and the bile juice. And the one more and the last enzyme, last hormone, which is that means the present in the gastrointestinal tract, and this is the GIP. That means gastric inhibitory peptides, and actually it inhibits the gastric secretion and the motility. So these different hormones which are present in the gastrointestinal tract have an acts its role to complete the digestion in the GIT. After the hormone, the very last part of this topic is the what is meant by absorption. The digestive form, actually the complete digestion which takes place in the small intestine, not all, and the digested form of food diffuse in the inner lining of the digestive tract. This is called as the absorption. Water inorganic salts, and some glucose is absorbed in inner wall of the stomach. Then rest of the absorption is done by the small intestine. The villi increase the area of absorption, and the glucose, fructose are absorbed in blood vessels, and they are absorbed by osmosis, diffusion, and active absorption. Then next, that is the process which it takes place on the particular food, absorbed food, is the assimilation. So the absorbed food material becomes a part of the protoplasm. This is called assimilation. The mitochondria oxidize food to liberate energy in the form of ATP after the assimilation of such type of the food into the protoplasm. And the last, that means the point, is the digestion. So after the process of digestion in the small intestine, its soluble and useful part is absorbed, no doubt, while the undigested, unwanted residue is sent to the large intestine. Water is reabsorbed in the large intestine, and a semi-solid waste called feces vista is thrown out of the body through the anus by the process known as the defecation. So, totally, in this topic, we have today studied about the physiology of digestion. Actually, this physiology of digestion takes place how? In the buccal cavity or the mouth, or in the stomach. So many reactions which takes place in the stomach. Then in the small intestine, very major part of the physiology of digestion, how the action of pancreatic juice, intestinal juice, which takes place on that particular food, and how the food becomes completely digested and reabsorbed in the small intestine. Then we have studied about the different hormones which are useful for the action of such type of the digestive process in the digestive tract. And these hormones, gastrin, secretin, cholecystokinin, GIP. And lastly, how the absorption takes place, how the assimilation takes place, and the last process, the digestion. So, in this we have to study the physiology of digestion.